What is the difference between working for a multinational and, let's say, a startup or SME or even what we call medium-sized companies in Kenya? Apart from the money aspect, given multinationals, you always pay better. That's given. Well, they have more resources, they'll be able to pay you a better salary, and that even salary will come up with benefits, let's say pension, medical cover, and all that you may not find in a startup, SME, or a medium-sized firm. There are vast differences that you need to pay attention to before you decide whether to work for any of them. So any of these, be it a multinational, an SME, or a startup, they each have their pros and cons. So let's look at a multinational. So a multinational has systems. That's the best part. So if you work for a multinational, at least you are assured where your job starts and where it ends. This specialization. And this specialization can do wonders for your career because you can get to be really good at one thing. For SME, unfortunately, you have to be jack of all trades. So you'll find, yes, you've been hired to be an accountant, but you're also in operations, you're also in admin. Now, this is a good or bad thing depending on where you're coming from. So a lot of times when I interview candidates for multinational, for an SME or a startups, you find that they struggle. Why? Because when they're working for a multinational, it's highly specialized. So let's say you're working for Safaricom, Barclays, or whatever, or any of these big firms. The reality is you'll be doing something very specific. Your colleague is doing something else. For example, in accounts, you'll be doing accounts payables. Your colleague is doing accounts receivables. So each one of you get to specialize. So when you are called by an SME, a startup, and they want an all-round person, then you might miss out on that opportunity. If you're working for a startup or an SME, if you want to work now for a multinational, then you find because you've not been exposed to best practices, you might miss an opportunity. Why? Because the fact that you're being used to doing all manner of things, it's a touch and go. You know, you don't have solid experience in one thing, then that can work to your detriment. Because then multinationals want someone who has specialized. So you need to be very careful when you're thinking about your career, because wherever you are working, it has an effect on your next job. So if it's a multinational, then no, most likely another multinational will find you more attractive. Same case with a startup or an SME. So I would say it's going to the job market with an open mind and getting to understand. However, if you ask me, the one that really carries the day, especially the higher you grow in your career, then I would say the startups or SMEs, because they get to expose you in a lot of areas. And truth be told, there are more opportunity in the medium-sized firm than even the multinationals. In fact, some of the clients we recruit for, some of them they are not big names in the industry, but they might even be paying better than the multinationals or big company. So at the end of the day, the question to ask yourself is, the skills I'm getting, how marketable will they make me in the future? So think between specialization and having broader skill, where will you get that? Whether it's an SME or a multinational or a big company, be well guided.